Okay, let's just jump right in. What if I told you that you could create a massive library of YouTube Shorts, enough to keep a channel running for months, and do it almost completely on autopilot? I know, it sounds a bit wild, maybe even too good to be true. But today, we're going to break down an AI workflow that claims to do exactly that. Yeah, we're talking about 1,000. 1,000 unique monetizable YouTube Shorts. That number is really the core of this whole thing. I mean, think about it. That is a ton of content just ready to roll out. And here's the part that's going to blow your mind. The claim? You can generate all the stuff you need, the scripts, the visuals, everything, for all 1,000 of those videos in under 20 minutes. So, what's the deal? Is this just hype? Or are we looking at a real game changer for creators? Let's dig in and find out. All right, let's get into our first section, the 1,000 Shorts promise. Now, to get why this is such a big deal, you got to remember what came before. You've probably seen those old school automation tools, right? They were everywhere for a minute, but they had a huge flaw. They all used the exact same boring templates. Everyone's videos looked the same. And that created a major problem. And this really lays it all out. On one hand, you had the old way. The market got totally flooded, the content was just repetitive, and eventually YouTube caught on and just started demonetizing those channels left and right. But the promise of this new method is the complete opposite. We're talking about making videos that are genuinely unique, that actually add some value, and most importantly, that you can actually make money from. And you can do it all super, super fast. You know, this quote from the original source really says it all. This isn't just some little AI hack. This is being called a game changer in how we even think about making content. So that's the big promise, right? The crucial question now is, how on earth does it actually work? So let's talk about the system itself. You're probably thinking a system this powerful must need like a dozen different complicated tools, right? Well, that's the crazy part. The whole engine is really just built on two main AI tools working together. One for all the words and one for all the pictures. It's way simpler than you'd think. Okay, so here's the basic plan, the roadmap, for how this all comes together. First, we do a little research and come up with ideas. Then we hit the go button and generate all the assets we need. Scripts, voiceovers, video clips, the whole shebang. After that, it's just a quick job of putting it all together. And finally, we brand our new channel and start publishing. See? Just 4 simple stages. Okay, now we're getting to the really good stuff. This next section is where the magic happens. We're going to dive into how you can generate every single piece of your video without actually having to, manually write or create anything yourself. First things first, you need a niche. The example we're looking at uses psychology facts, which is a great choice because it's super engaging. People love that stuff. Now, for finding actual video ideas, there's this really clever little trick. You just go to the YouTube search bar, type something like 10 facts about, and then just start typing letters of the alphabet, A, B, C. YouTube's auto-suggest will literally hand you a list of highly searched topics. Once you've got your list of topics, it's script time. The system uses an AI tool called GenSpark, but the secret sauce is a specially designed prompt. You literally just paste in your video title, and boom, it spits out a full script. And the best part? That prompt is totally reusable. You can just keep feeding it titles and crank out hundreds of scripts in no time. Next up, voiceover. For this, the recommendation is to use Google's Gemini text-to-speech. And get this, it's free and unlimited, which is awesome. Now, here's a pro tip. Don't just paste your script in. You want to add some style instructions. Tell it to be engaging or thoughtful or whatever vibe you're going for. That's how you get a voiceover that actually sounds good. Okay, now for the visuals. And honestly, this is the real heart of the whole automation process. It uses a browser extension called Meta that hooks right into Meta's AI. What it does is let you feed it a giant list of text prompts, and then it just goes to work, generating every single video clip you need, all in one shot. So what makes Meta so powerful for this? Well, for starters, you can just give it a single text file with all your prompts listed out. Super easy. You can also tell it how long to wait between making each clip, and it handles all the downloading for you automatically. And this is a big one. You can give it a reference image so all of your videos have a consistent look and feel. All right, so let's recap. You've got your script, you've got your voiceover, and you've got a folder packed with AI-generated video clips. Now it's time to actually assemble all these pieces into a final video. And you'll be happy to hear the editing is super simple. First, just drag everything into a free editor. Something like CapCut works perfectly.
Then you drop the voiceover track down and start lining up your video clips to match what's being said. After that, you just click the auto caption button to add your subtitles. And to finish it off, just add some simple zoom in and zoom out effects to keep things moving. And that's it. That's the whole edit.
Now, as you're doing that quick edit, there's one number you need to burn into your brain. 3. 3 seconds. The source makes it crystal clear that the first 3 seconds are everything. That's your window to hook someone. If you nail that opening, you've got a real shot at going viral. Okay, so the videos are made, but a bunch of videos without a channel is like a bunch of furniture without a house. So the final step is to build a home for them, creating a fully branded channel and making sure people can actually find it. And would you believe it? This part is basically automated too. You can go right back to that same chat in GenSpark and ask it for channel name ideas. Then you can ask it to rate prompts for your channel logo and your banner art. You just take those prompts, pop them into any AI image generator, and you're done. Your entire brand identity built in just a few minutes. All right, last piece of the puzzle, getting your videos seen. We're talking SEO, and it boils down to this super simple checklist. First, you get GenSpark to generate a really clickable title. Then you ask it to write a description based on that awesome title. And finally, you use a free tool like Rapid Tags to get a whole list of viral tags. It's a simple little workflow you can just repeat for every single video. And, this brings us right back to that really important point from the beginning. The reason this works, the reason it's different, is because you're generating unique scripts and unique visuals every single time. This isn't that old robotic copy-paste stuff. You're actually creating something new, something with value. And that, right there, is the key to getting monetized on YouTube. So what's the final takeaway? What's the secret to making this all work? It's one word: consistency. When you have a machine that can pump out content this fast, the game plan is to go hard. Upload 3, maybe 4 shorts every single day. The source says you got to do this for at least a month. That gives the algorithm enough time and enough data to figure out who your audience is and start showing them your stuff. And all of this leaves us with a really interesting, kind of mind-bending question to think about. As these AI tools get crazier and easier to use, is the role of a creator changing? Are we moving from being hands-on artists to being more like architects who just design and manage these incredibly powerful automated systems? I'd love to know what you think.